introduce last. He's not a must spirit by the grace of God. So please introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, well, we've not listened to Ajia. There are still some people that we've not actually taken, the likes of Roslyn,
Okay. I think some people just
Nadirat,
joined now.
Ajia, yeah, and Julius. So, but
Okay,
I will just
okay.
quickly introduce myself. I think we're having some breaches because I had to remove some of the participants at some point. So please, let's be careful who we are admitting. I think maybe the link is available online. You can so there are some nefarious people joining us now or trying to join the meeting. So maybe if you don't recognize the name, please don't admit them in. Okay, so my name is Babatunde Oladele. I'm the executive director for LRF. I'm presently in Little Rock, Arkansas, United States of America. Um, and I'm glad to be here today. This book reading is one of the initiatives of LRF, one of our uh, intervention um, programs where we try to promote reading culture in our nation, promote reading culture among the youths by bringing in authors of Nigerian extraction to come and read to us from their works so that we can listen to them, appreciate their work, offer constructive criticism as the case may be, that will help them in if they have to do another edition of that book to revise the next one they are doing or to improve on the subsequent releases that they are going to be writing after the reading. So we appreciate mostly what they've written. It's not a condemnation circle, it's not a criticism circle. We just come to appreciate the beauty of letters as expressed by our authors, and we've had authors from different parts of the world, and that's also the beauty of the LRF gatherings. When we gather like this every month, we usually have audience from different parts of Nigeria, from different parts of the world, even authors that have come to read to us. We've had authors from the US, from Europe, from other parts of Africa, and from even Nigeria itself coming to read to us. As far as they are Nigerians and they've published a work, we are willing to have them join us and to come and read from the works to us. So I'm sure we're going to have a fantastic session today. I mean, hearing or listening to Foluke as she reads from Flub to us. So on that note, I will just pass the mic back to the compare for the day, and then so that we can take the other people that have joined us for this session.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
I'll move straight to Deborah Taiwo. Please, can you introduce yourself, tell us your profession and where you are joining from? And then Elijah, you'll be the next person, ma'am.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My
Good evening,
name
ma'am.
is Deborah Taiwo. I am a veterinary doctor by profession.
I'm about to come. Oh, shit. Oh.
We are sorry about that. Sorry about that. Please,
Sorry about that. I
Mr.
think that's the thing with broadcasting a Zoom link online. Zoom himself, they frown against it. When the Zoom link is online, is available, anybody can access it, anybody can join, and then they start to do this. But sorry about that.
We are sorry about that.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
Deborah, please continue, ma'am.
Yes, I am a veterinary doctor by profession, and I'm joining in from Ibadan. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Elijah, over to you,
Right.
ma'am.
So, good evening, everyone. I
Good
hope you
evening,
can
ma'am.
all hear me.
We can, ma'am.
All right. I'm Ajia Olabisi Olashoko, a teacher, a secondary school teacher of English language and literary studies, joining from Ibadan, a volunteer for LRF. And as
God
usual,
bless you,
I'm
ma.
glad
Thank you,
to
ma.
be here once again. You're welcome.
You're welcome, ma. Thank you, ma. We move over to Julius.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
My
sir.
name is Julius Suppose. I am a teacher and a writer, and I'm joining from Lagos.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome, sir. And then we'll move over to Rosalind.
Good evening, everyone. I am
Good evening,
Rosalind
ma.
James. I am Rosalind James, an entrepreneur, and I'm joining from Abuja. Thank you.
God bless you, ma. You're welcome, ma. And then we move straight to Nadira to Kigbenro.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma.
My name is Nadira Tukibianru. I am an English language teacher and I'm joining in from Lagos.
Okay. Thank you for joining us, ma. And then Amos Akonde, a good friend. Please, Mr. Akonde.
I think network moved him out.
All right. Without wasting time, we'll move over to the second item on our agenda, which is a talk about what LRF and what LRF book reading is all about. So we'll actually ask our convener, Mr. Babatunde Oladele, to tell us about LRF and LRF book reading. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Our able compare. Sorry, I thought I did that earlier when I was talking, when I was introducing myself. But just to still
Yes, sir.
go through the rounds, as I said, LRF is an initiative we started in the year 2018. Among a couple of friends that are burdened about the fact that reading culture seems to be dwindling in our country. There seems to be this loss of interest, and the funniest thing is that the mobile phone technology is actually even aiding that. So that people are no longer committed to reading serious stuff. We are just reading the soft stuff, what they call mental candies. And we wanted to do something about that. We wanted to correct that. So we started this initiative called Literary Renaissance Foundation to try to revive reading culture in our country, to try to revive reading culture among the youths, starting one person at a time. And one of the things we were doing when we started was we go to schools to go and talk to school children about the importance of cultivating a consistent reading habit so that they can devote time to reading. And the thing about our nation is that Nigeria was founded by intellectuals. Our founding fathers were people, men of letters, women of letters. And but along the line, we seem to be deviating from those tenets, those fundamentals that actually defined our nation, and we're not so that's what we're trying to revive or resuscitate through our Renaissance by trying to bring that love for reading back. And then, we're also campaigning for mass literacy upon learning that, at the last time that statistics was being discussed, we had over 23 million Nigerian children out of school. That also became an issue for us. How do we get these children back to school? What do we do to ensure that children come back to schools? Because we know education is the bedrock of national development and even personal growth. So we decided to, okay, let's also start to do something about getting children back to school while we also promote reading culture, as part of our fundamental ideals. And this gathering is a way of promoting reading culture because, as I said, we bring authors of Nigerian extraction from all over the world to come and read to us from their works, and then we gather together to listen to them, to appreciate their work, and to offer constructive criticism on how they can better their works, better their writing, improve the subsequent books that they are going to publish. And the point is that as we do this, as we continue to do this, we are actually also elevating the profile of communication, of letters, of intellect in our society. And that is why we do this. So we're doing it month in, month out. We also try to strike this gender balance where we have male author 1 month, female author the next month. Some of you were here, you will know that, okay, the last month we had a male author, and this month is going to be a female author, obviously. And then next month again, we're going to have another male author. We try to just strike that gender balance because intellect is not restricted to gender, it's a universal thing. And we are glad that, okay, I mean, since we're doing this, we've been having fantastic responses and feedback from those who join us either here or online, because this session is also being streamed on YouTube. So if you check, you will see that, okay, we are being actually streamed. And from experience, we see that people that actually even watch on YouTube, they are usually more than people that we have in attendance during the Zoom session, even though this is very key, because if we all go to join on Zoom or watch later on Zoom, the author will not have anybody to critique or to appreciate their work real time. So that's why we always encourage everyone to be here in person, and then you can always go to watch it later on YouTube. So thanks for joining us today. I will also pass the mic back to my friend and brother Chukuma, who is the compare for today. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. One of our colleagues actually joined, Victoria Donkey. Please, we implore you to please introduce yourself, tell us your name, your profession, and where you are joining us from before we now go to Korede Teriba.
Hello.
So,
Good evening. Oh, where I am, there's noise where I am. I don't know if you can hear me clearly.
We can hear you.
Okay, my name is Victoria Dinchi, and I'm a student at the University of Ibadan studying Communication and Language Arts as my master's program. Basically, yeah, that's my introduction.
Thank you very much, ma'am. You're welcome, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, ma'am. The next item now is for us to get to hear the profile of our guest author. And to do that for us will be Korede Teriba. Please, you have the floor, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So the profile of the author, Mrs. Foluke Sijuola Falaye, has written over 20 books, which have been greeted with great eclat. Over the years, our works have been recommended and approved by several state ministries of education in Nigeria as curricular texts used in preparing students for literature exams in primary and secondary schools. Our play, The Slaves in the Palace, is currently being studied at 2 African universities. Some of our themes, which correct societal errors, have received starred reviews in Punch, Guardian, and so forth. When Foluke is not spending time with her family and friends, writing or reading, she's speaking at functions or sharpening her skills, attending writers' workshops and literary conferences. The author is a convener of Read With Me on International Literacy Day, a yearly event that promotes literacy. She studied at the University of Ado-Ekiti and the National Open University of Nigeria for first degree and postgraduate studies.
Thank you very much, sir. We have a very formidable guest author today. We have a very formidable guest author today. I don't know whether you heard very well. We're told that she's the author of more than 20 books. 20 books. And ironically, she's also an advocate for literacy. A serious one for that. And maybe she would actually give us the opportunity of actually seeing her face. When you see her, you see that she's always smiling. I think that was actually one thing that I was looking forward to. She's always smiling. So we have not just a writer, we have one who actually is experienced, who is formidable in her own right, who has gone through the ranks, who is an advocacy for books, for literacy, and she's into a lot of things: ghostwriting, publishing, self-publishing, entrepreneurship. She has a hand in almost all the pies. So you are welcome, Mrs. Foluke Shijuola Falaye. Thank you for coming, and we give the floor over to you to tell us one or two things before you start reading from your books, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everybody. It's
Good
nice to
evening,
be
ma'am.
here. Good evening, good evening, Mas. Good evening, sirs.
Okay, ma'am. You can go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Foluke Shijuola Falaye. Just like I've been introduced, I've authored over 20 books, and then we are still writing. I'm still writing. So, Flub, the book I'm reading from today, was published in 2014. It portrays a contemporary Nigeria where youths are deprived and they are used as thugs, mercenaries by the wealthy, the political class. So Flub is a book any day because it mirrors the society we are currently living in. Our main character there, Sunday Paul, resonates with every young Nigeria, but it's so different in the sense that he's an archetype of Daniel, Joseph in the Bible that won't soil their hands. So that's the let me just say that's the summary, or maybe an appetizer to the book club. Actually, Flub was recommended in Ogun State for exam, I think like 2 sessions ago, for exam, GSS exam. Yes.
Okay, continue, ma'am.
Okay. So, if Flub, if you look at the message it conveys, I've already said 1 or 2 things about what's the type of book. Is a prose anyway. It conveys message of hope, telling us that no condition is permanent. No condition is permanent. Our major character has to face a lot of things. The hard economic hardship, economic crisis, joblessness, discrimination, and what have you. But he's able to weather the storm. And at the end of the day, when you are righteous in your own way, when you are righteous, when you do the right thing, it's just a matter of time. Things will fall in place. Yes. Now, if you look at the theme of the book, we have poverty as a theme there. We have moral standing. We have the we have a goodness over evil. We have selfishness and some other things like that.
All right, ma'am. Please, ma'am. 2 things, ma'am. Number 1, we want to please plead with you to please show your video.
Okay.
Secondly, we will also like to have you read practically from the book.
Okay.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
You You look so much like one of our classmates, Omotunde, in our school then. I think Elijah
Yeah.
and Babatunde will remember her. You look so much like her.
The semblance is skin.
Is
Oh,
serious.
please, I would like to meet her.
No problem, ma. So you can continue, ma. Just you can read directly from the book. Then we actually will respond later.
Okay.
Thank you, ma.
Okay, thank you. Thank you too, sir. So I'll be reading from Flub. I'm not just reading an extract like that. I would like to start from the first page, so that at least, I won't read everything, so that at least anybody that is listening, you'll be able to like know this is what the story is about. So shall we start?
Go ahead, ma.
Okay. Sunday had been lying on the bed for hours. There was noise coming from the motorist now and again. Sunday was unperturbed and had gone wood gathering. A driver blew his car horn. People in the neighborhood shouted and hailed the man in the car. Sunday stood up and held the curtain. He wanted to catch a glimpse of the man in the car, but changed his mind. Sunday had suddenly become a recluse. He seldom went out. He walked back to the bed. He felt the sand under the tattered linoleum disintegrating. The room had been like that. Different stains on the fast fading and peeling wall panes. Sets of old chinaware, cooking pots, and mugs were placed on the top of the wooden wardrobe at the other side of the room. By the wardrobe stood a stool, a single sofa, a shelf containing a small television, a radio, and a lamp clock. At the other side of the room was a bed, and behind the door was a bowl with a small cooking stove and kitchen utensils. The room had been found within 72 hours. The owner of the house was surprised to see Sunday after a few hours. Having agreed about the rent and the condition of the house, that plastering and painting would be done before moving in, Sunday brought the rent in a nylon. It was the last money he had home and abroad. He placed the money in the landlord's hand. He pleaded so he could allow him move in at once. The landlord stared at Sunday as he begged. He knew he had nothing to lose. In fact, he had more to gain. The money for the cement and paint would be channeled towards other things. I always like to plaster and paint the room for my tenants, the landlord told him. Please, let us move in, Sunday coaxed. Sunday returned with his wife 2 hours later after paying the rent. Their few belongings were offloaded from a commercial bus. The driver, the bus conductor, Sunday and his wife moved in and out, carrying one item after the other. As soon as the last luggage was brought out from the vehicle, Sunday paid the driver. The existing occupants wondered why the couple were not cheerful when they welcomed them. Sunday's eyes moved to and fro. He was not talking. Nevertheless, his hands were working. They set the bed. After that moment, Sunday asked his wife to sit. Cynthia insisted on giving her husband a helping hand. They hung few clothes in the wardrobe and folded the rest. Cynthia opened a bag and burst into sobs. Sunday didn't understand why his wife was crying. He took the bag and looked inside. That mad boy, he cursed when he saw the clothes. I told him not to pack this, he consoled. Cynthia wiped her tears and sat down. Cynthia burst into fresh sobs. Sunday was only pretending to be a man in the presence of his wife. He was crying deeply inside. What will you say is making you cry? He asked. Who would have imagined we are coming from a duplex to a single room? Who would have believed we have tasted life? He fought against the tears and thought about the lively 3-year-old boy they once had. The thought of ever remembering that Cynthia had a miscarriage taunted him. Sunday caused the day he met Chief Jejelaye. How I wished I never met him. The day was just like a day before. Sunday regretted. He remembered vividly as the thoughts came to his head. The streets would have looked deserted but for few hawkers who chanted their goods and the vehicles who sped past once in a while. It was always like that in the neighborhood of Igele late in the morning. Fine bread, chanted one of the traders.
Okay, ma.
Okay.
Please, ma. At this point, ma, we want to please plead with you. We want to have our first response, our audience response. Please, the floor is open for comments. Like our convener said, we are not here to condemn. We are not here to condemn. We are here to encourage, constructively criticize, and then learn, and then make input also. So please, the floor is open for us to respond to what our guest author actually have read to us. So, and while we're actually on it, some other persons joined us. I can see Thomas Rachel with us. So please, Rachel, please, can you introduce yourself before we continue? I can see Okpara Chioma, I can see Linus, Amos Akonde is back again. So please, we have a full house now somehow. So let's go to Rachel. Please, can you introduce yourself? Tell us where you're calling, you are joining from, and then your profession. While she's getting ready, can we move straight to Okpara Chioma? Chioma Okpara, please, can you introduce yourself? Tell us your name, your profession,
Good
and where
evening,
you're.
everyone.
Good evening, ma.
Yes, I'm Oparachoma. I'm a content writer and graphic designer, joining from Lagos State.
Thank you very much, ma. So, Galinus.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma. Galinus, your turn.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Our prayer has been answered.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'd really been battling with network. Today wants to be a bad day, but devil is a liar.
In fact, has always been. So please introduce yourself.
Okay, Tagan Linus Barry, always joining from Jos Plateau State. I'm also a volunteer with the LRF. I'm an editor with University of Jos Printing Press.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm also a literate here. I think maybe when you give the floor for comments on, because I've been following the reading and I'm really enthused so far. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, sir. I don't know what is happening again. Amos Akonde, Linus just said that the devil is a liar. The first time, the network actually did not allow him to introduce himself. Okay, let's go back to the matter at hand. Mrs. Falaye, please, we would like you to, maybe for the next 3-4 minutes, read a little more from your book, Flub, and then we'll actually now respond. Thank you, ma'am. You can mute yourself, ma'am. Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you, sir. Cynthia and Sunday laughed momentarily. People often laughed over a style. Is that how they hug bread here? Cynthia asked her husband. Maybe, Sunday replied half-heartedly, burying his face in the pillow. There was no food at home. The little boy had been lulled to sleep after crying cupboard. The water his mother gave him didn't solve the problem. Sunday felt miserable for not being able to provide for his family. The last place he served as a casual worker was a production company. At the end of every week, he was given some tins of rice, vegetable oil, and milk. Cynthia was able to put something on the table every night, even though he didn't like being a casual worker. He had many certificates which qualified him for better jobs, but he seemed unlucky finding one. The job lasted until one morning while he was online and about entering the factory. The supervisor called Sunday's name and that of many others. They stepped aside. Only a few whose names were not called were allowed to go inside the factory. Sunday and other workers ran towards the supervisor. They asked him what they had done wrong. No job again. The supervisor surprised. Sunday found it incredible that his job had been terminated. He felt a bite in his stomach. He heard it and cried in pain. Please, I have a little baby and a wife at home. Please help me. It is the management decision and not mine, the supervisor announced. What decision is this? The angry men charged towards him. The policemen without uniform who had been watching the scene brought out their guns, shot into the air and rounded up the workers. Sunday was taken with them to the cell. Unfortunately, he spent 3 days in the cell before he was released. Sunday removed the pillow, stood up and headed towards the door. Where are you going to? Cynthia asked. Woman, stop asking questions. Sunday answered angrily and stepped outside. Sunday went for a saunter down the street. From a distance, he saw a new car in a ditch and 2 young boys were trying to push it out. Bros, come join us. Bros, come join us. The boys beckoned to Sunday. It was a relief seeing a man with a macho figure. He joined them at once. This one has power. The man in the new car caught a glimpse of Sunday's face. He looks handsome too, the man whispered. Within few seconds, the car was out of the ditch. Oga, we don't do our own. Time don't reach to do your own, the 2 young boys chorused, stepping aside. Okay, the man threw some naira notes on the ground. The 2 boys ran towards the money. One pushed the other away, reached for the money and increased his speed. The other boy that was pushed away pursued him. The man shook his head sadly at the realization that no one was willing to do anything for free in the community anymore. What really surprised him was the selfishness of the young boys. They couldn't share with the older man. After all, it was he that made the car to leave the dish, he thought. The man threw some money on the ground for Sunday. He was amazed when Sunday glanced at the money, then strolled away. Young man, it is for you. The man called after him. Sunday ignored him. The man drove slowly after him. Hello, gentlemen. The man eventually parked by his side. You are the one I'll be talking to. The man reminded. It can't be me, Sunday retorted. I'm so sorry to have behaved that way. He dipped his hand in his pocket and brought out a world naira note. Take this, he pleaded. What for? Sunday asked. For your help, for bringing out my car from the dish. Must I receive money for bringing out the car from the dish? He asked, lowering his voice. In a society like ours, no one is willing to do anything for free any longer. I'm astonished finding a man like you. They kept quiet for some time. This is my card. Please take it and take this money. Chief Jejelaye broke the silence. Sunday only collected the card, and the money he persuaded, take it, he maintained, staring at the provision store not too far away. No, he preserved. I'm Chief Jejelaye, he said proudly, then adjusted his native regalia. My name is Sunday Paul. He spoke boldly. It is my pleasure. May I ask for a favor once again? I will be happy if you can grant it. What is it? Sunday asked. Please accompany me to that store. He pointed to a superstore not too far away. Pick some items. Chief Jejelaye cajoled Sunday. After much deliberations, Sunday picked 2 tins of milk, a tin of beverage, a pack of sugar, and a loaf of bread. No, you must take more. Chief Jejelaye stared into Sunday's basket. He picked 1 pack of rice and 5 tins of sardines and dropped them into Sunday's basket. These are much, Sunday said with appreciation. They are not much. Look at my basket. Chief Jejelaye told him. Different types of wine, cans of beer, and assorted biscuit filled Chief Jejelaye's baskets. Do you live in this part of the city? Sunday asked. No, I live in another part of the city. I came to see an old friend. Unfortunately, he has left the country. Okay, Sunday muttered. Cynthia made tea and they had sardine with bread. Where did you get all these things? Cynthia inquired from her husband many times. Sunday heard soundlessly. His mind was preoccupied with only one thing, the man he met down the street.
Thank you very, very much, ma.
Paul.
That was a nice one.
Thank you, sir.
The floor is open for us to respond, like I said earlier on, to this reading. A lot has been revealed. You can see a lot of images. Some of us can relate with the context, the environment, the milieu that this text comes from. Some may not be able to relate with casual worker system. They may not be able to relate. So let me not actually let the cat out of the bag. Please, the floor is open for us to respond to the reading from our guest author for today, Mrs. Foluke Shijuola Falaye.
Hello.
So yes, you can go on, sir.
Good evening once again.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Julius. So
okay, sir.
I have 2 questions. One of them is, can you hear me?
I didn't hear you well, sir.
Okay, the first one is how did the author come about the title of the book?
Okay, how did the author come about the title
I
of the
said,
book?
how did the author come about the title of the book? That is one.
All right, sir. You want to ask another one again? Okay. Mrs. Falaye, please. One of our members want to know how you came about Flub, the title.
Okay. I, I don't want to say, okay, flub actually means to make a mess of something, to make a mistake, to make an error. So after writing it, I think I've written it already, the manuscript. So I was looking for the accurate title, something that will be suitable for the content I have put down. So I just decided to use flub, which means when something is in a mess, when something is an error, when something is a mistake. Because if you are able to read through the prose, you will find out that is a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't reveal it for the young man to have crossed a path with, to have come across the man, the chief.
Jidelaye.
Yes.
Okay.
There are some people we meet in our lifetime, they will be blessing to us. And there are some people, it's another way around. Yes.
Oh, thank you, ma. We
Thank you,
move
sir.
next to Elijah. Your hands
Yeah.
I have a
raised.
second question.
Yeah,
Please.
good. Okay.
Before the network threw me out.
No, just wait. Let Elijah actually take our question.
We'll
come back to you, sir.
I just want to comment. Okay, I want to comment on the character of Sunday. That is the opposite of what we find in the society. He is not even willing to be paid for helping out. That is very rare. You hardly find it in people in our present generation. So a good job done by the author.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, thank you, sir. Elijah, over to you, ma'am.
Okay. First, I'll start by saying a very good evening to our author.
Good evening, ma'am.
Ma'am Foluke Falaye.
Thank you, ma'am.
I would like to start by commending your choice of the title.
Thank you, ma'am.
Flub. It's a very catchy title, and going by the targeted audience, according to you, you said the book had been read by GSS students in Ogun State.
Yes, recommend.
All right. That title is really, really catchy and intriguing for their young minds. So you did a very great job with that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I also like the simplicity of the diction.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very direct and very appropriate for the targeted audience too. And
Thank you, ma'am.
I can see why it is readily adopted for GSS3 readership. And I would love it to be extended to other states too.
Thank you, ma'am.
So it's another good one.
Thank
Then
you
one
so
thing
much.
that stands out in this work from your reading so far, and I can see that it permeates because you never lost that trend, is your deployment of vivid imagery. The language choice is very descriptive, not leaving out any details, describing the setting, the character, and making the storyline so relatable to contemporary Nigerians. So as you are reading, I believe there is nobody here present listening that is not picturizing or cannot relate to the situation being described and discussed in your write-up. That's a good one. It gives the work a very similitude reality.
Thank you, ma'am.
though the character Sunday Paul is still evolving from your readership, from your reading so far, we can say is one role model for the youth. But from what you let out, letting the cat out of the bag, saying meeting the chief adversely affects him. In fact, my heart is broken. I don't want to see a change Sunday Paul. But going by the title and what you let out, it's rather a pity, a tragedy that such a fine soul may be adversely affected or corrupted by his meeting with the chief. But we keep our fingers crossed as we are eager to hear some more reading from you. Well done, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
Alaja, thank you very much, ma. We are very grateful for that. Is there any other person? Okay, Ogalinus.
Yes, sir. I think Elijah had said almost all I wanted to say. Because like from the very beginning, when I saw the flyer, I had to quickly check my dictionary for the meaning of that word. Flub, that's the title. So it's from there that I'd really picked interest. Because sincerely, you see the character of Sunday Paul. You know, most times our parents will say that they are always investing in humanity because anyhow, humanity will pay you back. But that's not what we're seeing in this our generation. And then one other thing that the writer is doing that I love so much is how she's able to change her voice whenever a different character is speaking. So it's making the work so relatable. That's why I found that she has not been able to share the screen for us. But whenever Sunday Paul is talking, and that character is speaking, there's a way that she changed her voice. You get so that's how we read plays. And I love that we're doing that to prosaic work down here. And I'm relating to every bit of it. But most of the times I will see how civil servants live. Some people that we work with, you know, that before the month end, they are already on debt, looking for how to survive. Immediately pay comes, they are trying to just settle that debt and then go back to the debt. And so you just see that typically everything is just giving you a picture of what Nigeria is as it stands now. To really people coming up and struggling. It's actually a great work. But I just hope that Sunday Paul, our favorite character, will not change.
Well, we are all hoping that he won't change. Thank you very much, Linus. Thank you very much. While we are on it, some other persons joined us. Grace Flora Obete and then Falaye joined us. So we'd like Grace Flora to introduce herself, tell us where she's connecting from, joining us from, and her profession, and then next to Falaye.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, ma.
Nice. I'm happy to be here. So I'm joining in from Lagos.
Thank you.
I'm also an educator with the Lagoon School, Lekki, Lagos.
That's nice.
Thank you, ma. Thank you,
Thank you.
Then, Olufemilayo.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, ma.
Yeah, my name is Makinde Oluwafemilayo, and I'm joining from University of Ibadan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, ma.
Student.
Oh, thank you for joining us. Thank you, ma. So we still have the floor open. Mrs. Falaye, I don't think I need to say much. I think Ogalinus has actually given life to what I wanted to say. To start with, the little you have read to us is filled with images that, you said that the text was actually published in 2014. Now,
Yes, sir.
2014 to now is 10 years. And the text reflects our present situation perfectly. And you went as far as bringing some issues occurring then, bringing them to the knowledge. It's not just a novel for people to read, but a lot of people from this generation will have to learn about history from this book of yours. They will learn, they will need to ask questions. What is casual system? If you are telling a Gen Z person that we used to have what is known as casual system of work, they may not relate with it. And the way Sunday was rounded up with his colleagues and then thrown into jail is normal with our police, with our security system. And the fact that you switch from Sunday to that level where you have pidgin English being introduced and spoken perfectly. Not just that you introduce pidgin English, but you actually delivered it perfectly. Okay, we don't finish our work, we don't do our turn. Now your turn, now you remain. God bless you so much, man. God bless you so much, man. We hope that this will not be the last. Of course, from the repertoire of text you have written, I was going to ask one question. The text Repose seems to catch attention much more among all your books. Repose. Please, why is that so, man?
Okay. Repose happens to be, I think it's because of the theme of repose that makes it to stand out. And it has to do with female education of a female child. And the way I wrote it, I put the setting, some of the towns, the setting is located in the northern part of Nigeria, where the level of where the rate of illiteracy is high, where female children are not given opportunity to go to school.
Okay.
Not everybody that is a girl child. It's only when you are educated or you are enlightened that you want to send your female child to school in the north. The way we do in the west is quite different from the northern part of Nigeria. I served there, so I can say one or two things.
Okay.
When children, before you know what is happening, maybe they are in JSS1, JSS2, they are telling you that they want to go and get married. And there's this word, Aruole or something like that. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly now. They are telling you they are Malama, I will not come to school next term. I'm going to get married. We are talking about 11-year-old, 12-year-old.
Mr. Oladele, whether he has anything to add. Please,
So,
Babs.
Well, I mean, I'm actually just enjoying the conversation and then the university because, I mean, thanks to our author, thanks to you, Compare, because, I mean, these are basically contemporary issues as far back as 2014 or even 2004 and this 2024. These are still contemporary issues. And just like everybody has noted, I like the portrayal, the imagery portrayed in the author's narrative. I mean, very captivating. Even though she's not sharing screen, just like somebody has noted, we are able to still follow the plot as it's evolving, and that is the beauty of literary work. And so, I mean, I'm enjoying the session as much as everyone else, and I want to commend the author for such a beautiful piece. And know the use of language too, very, very, very on point for the target audience. They are able to actually relate to what she's saying. You don't have to start, even though the title helps us to go check the dictionary, but the general, I mean, diction is easy to follow, and that is fantastic work. Well done, ma'am, for such a beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So
I've been-
the floor is open, ma'am, for the second
Okay, have I been able to answer
the second reading, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, you have been able to answer it.
Okay. So
So
repose is
you can
about
continue, ma'am.
female education.
All right, ma'am.
Okay.
So you can continue to the second reading, ma'am. You can pick
Okay.
another part of the book to read.
Okay, sir. So shall we proceed now? Okay.
Yes,
The
yes, ma'am.
house smelt of fresh paints. Cynthia touched the wall with the tip of her finger. The paint hadn't dried. She stayed aloof as the men brought the last load, which was the refrigerator. Here, bring it inside, Sunday told them from the kitchen. They laid the refrigerator gently. After arranging the kitchen, he dipped his hand into his pocket and dashed the men some money. Take this. This is for the good work, he told the men. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Anytime you need us, just come to our office. We are always there. The men reminded him and left. My new house. Pride shouted and ran around the house. The house was a 4-bedroom duplex. Sunday and Cynthia had a room. Pride had a room too. The third room was for visitors. The fourth room shall be for the baby on the way. Sunday stated joyfully, bringing Cynthia back from the world of thoughts. She gave a short laugh. She couldn't believe everything had changed overnight. They had just moved to a duplex coupled with a car. Chief Jejelaye had single-handedly taken care of the expenses. Sunday had asked Cynthia to give out their few belongings to the neighbors since they would be needing them no longer. There is everything is happening so fast, Cynthia mumbled, smelling a rat. It is like that when once time comes, Sunday laughed out, then poured some beer in a cup. But I find it hard to believe. A man will just be doing this for a fellow man without anything attached. Cynthia said, what possibly can be attached? We know Chief. We know his family. We are aware of his chains of businesses. He gave us shelter and has even offered to give me a job as his personal assistant. What can be possibly attached to it? Sunday said with a little anger. It is just that I'm afraid. Cynthia spoke gently. You have nothing to worry about. After all, it was Chief Jejelaye that offered to help us. When a man's time comes, it is a man God will send his way. Sunday allayed Cynthia's fear. He blamed Cynthia's strange behavior on her condition. Sunday and his wife moved from one room to another, admiring everything in the house. You are going to need a help in this big house, Sunday said to his wife. Cynthia only nodded her head in affirmation. You are behaving so strangely. Aren't you happy? Do you prefer that ghetto to this beautiful place? He asked angrily, then walked back into the living room. I don't mean to make you angry. I find it hard to believe it is real. Cynthia pacified her husband. It is real. Please let it end there. Start
Okay, she's
offering them
back.
comments.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome, sir.
Please, this part you've read now,
Okay,
is like
sir.
a leap from where we met Sunday at the beginning, at the introduction to
Yeah.
now. And
Yes, sir.
we got to hear in that first part that Sunday was moving from a duplex to actually a one-room apartment. Now, all of a sudden, there's another transformation from somebody who lives in a rented apartment going back again to a 4-bedroom apartment. It's difficult to find text these days that reflects movement from grace to grass and back to grace and back to grass again. It's like we always want to have grace to grass, grass to grace. So I commend you, ma, for actually trying to reflect practically what we have in our society, a society where you never can tell where you will be, whether you'll be up or you'll be down. Thank you very much, ma, for that. Please, the floor is open again for us to respond to this second reading from our guest author. So please, we have the floor. Do you have anyone?
Good evening.
Good evening. Please go
All
ahead.
right. All right. I commend the author for putting this work together because I've been following what is being read, and I must say she has been able to use this technique in story writing. I will call show, don't tell. So instead of telling us that Sunday is poor, she depicts it to us, she shows it to us. And then one thing I also like to add is in this second reading, the text seems to share the text seems to share thematic preoccupation with Ayobami Adebayo's A Spell of Things, in the sense that it's a text on social realism. That is, it depicts the social happenings in the society.
Yes.
You have somebody who is being helped by somebody, Chief Jejelaye, and I think Chief Jejelaye is a politician, right?
Yeah, he's one of those people they call Godfather.
So we
Yes.
also have a similar thing like that too in Ayobami Adebayo's Spell of Goodness. So what I just want to say is that I just want to commend the author for this particular work she has been able to put together. And then the title, the title had sent me to had me going to consult the dictionary.
We are not alone in this
So
situation.
I was wondering what could have been, but this is just a suggestion. I think if the title could have been, it could have been something ironic, something like, for instance, now, joys of motherhood. We all know that what
Yeah.
Tinubu faced. So
Yes.
that could have been something, yeah. So that could have been something like that. So because at first I didn't even know, I couldn't even get the spelling. I had to go and look for the author's name on LinkedIn, and I saw the list of books. So that's why I now saw okay, so this is spelling. So, but however, it's a very good work. It's a very good work. I really love it.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have any other person?
There's only to add a little to what I've said earlier, that
All right.
it's such a pity that finally, heroes on the fall is joining the bandwagon of corrupted citizenry. This is so sad. That's our sad reality. The materialism in our society is all-time high now, that even babes, young children of nowadays, they think in millions. There is this tendency of getting rich quick syndrome. and without anybody frowning at the source of the riches. Thank God that the wife still questions the source of the wealth. But I know in no time, the husband will silence her, just as it is in our society. It's really, really sad. And this brings me to the current trend of our so-called protest here, protest there, bad governance. I wrote it on my walls, on all my social media walls, that the protest should begin with self. Protest against that corruption in you. Let's restructure ourselves. Let's restore core values in ourselves. Then take that to the society. We tend to blame the government of the day. And it's a pity that it's only going to get worse. Because since the inception of democracy in this nation, subsequent governance had always been worse. We complain about this, and as soon as they're out of power, we rejoice, only to start complaining again, and the cycle continues. Then we should go back to the drawing board, come back to the basics and look inwards. What's really the problem? The problem starts with the followership. Our leaders are from us. The likes of Sunday, they are still out there, but the society is soon soaking them in to the abyss of corruption. It's a pity. It's a pity. I love the fact that a text like this is out there at this time. Yes, it's a really contemporary text that will continue to be relevant for a long time to come. We only pray that God changes our society for the better, but the change has to start with individuals. Thank you, ma'am. Well done.
So much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Any other person?
Yes. I don't have the floor, please, moderator.
Okay, go ahead, ma.
Okay, just to add to what DC just said, because that was what I wanted to see.
So that is where the misunderstanding is coming from, because the information
Of the traditional and the modern, how the Gen Z, right? Then the Gen Z, I don't know what.
Yes, go ahead, ma.
When you get to the house and your mother is back upside down, who actually has the sense, who has the viral, the son is the next day, like the wife. Said, I'm looking at it from the moral angle, and
okay.
That is that's this chapter that I really listened to. I didn't really get. I'm looking at the moral angle. So, because able actually we have one person here that is saying that how that has this instinct in her that nothing is given to you on a platter of gold without you paying for it in one way or the other. I could see somebody that has the third eye that is trying to scrutinize the motive. So I will call it instinct. And for it's just a pity, like DC mentioned, our value system has changed, and I keep saying it. And it started with the disrespect of teachers. Ever since parents started visiting off teachers, abusing teachers in front of students, and people are now saying education or schooling is scam. That was when the moral values of our society started down, and everything has zeroed down to money. Money, like she mentioned, money, everything. So it doesn't matter what you are bringing to the table. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. With the society, just a pity. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's like that in other states. What I've seen with my eyes, parents are urging their daughters into prostitution. Women don't wear pants. Girls, like she said, they are here in Lagos. Not only that, husbands in the house, they are not turning blind eyes to their wives that are going out. So bring in money. The most important thing is money for feeding. And this writer has been able to bring that into the society. Excitement is there that the husband start moving into a business, but that there must be something they need to do. So we don't know if she will give in or she will be the only right person that will be finding. We don't know yet. So kudos, madam.
Thank you, ma.
Thank
Thank you, ma.
thank you, Flora, thank you very much. Looking at our time, I think we'll move straight to the third reading stream. Please, Mrs. Falaye, we want you to please, we implore you to read for the last time before we respond from the text. Just choose any parts of your choice.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So Sunday looked at his wristwatch for the opting times. He had been in the office for some hours, yet he had not been able to see Chief Jejelaye. People had been going in and coming out. However, he had not been able to see Chief. Osaro Sunday called one of Chief Jejelaye's scouts who was passing by. Osaro was busy eating roasted plantain and granules as he walked towards Sunday. Didn't you tell Chief I'll be waiting? Sunday asked the young man impatiently. I have informed him. He said when it is your turn, he will call you. Osaro snorted. Some people have met me here and have left. Sunday grumbled, pacing out the width of the room. You know, Chief, he likes to do things his own way. Osaro reminded him. Sunday returned to his seat and kept staring at Osaro's shirts and trousers. The clothes were clean, even though they were old. He couldn't imagine why one of Chief's bodyguards would be eating roasted plantain and granite for lunch. He thought about his life and the change that had come into his life ever since he met Chief. Why hasn't Osaro's life changed? He thought. He may have many responsibilities or a project he is doing. He replied softly. A man and his family emerged from Chief Jejelaye's office. They didn't look cheerful like when they came in. A messenger had gone to buy amala when they were in the office. The family went to the empty office to eat the food and returned after a while to Chief's office. Bring the money. The woman spoke to her eldest child. Bring the money. The woman spoke to her eldest child. Will it be enough for our fare home? Having counted the money, the woman asked her husband. Do you know? The man replied uncertainly. You can go into the office now. The messenger told Sunday. Okay. Sunday rose up and stretched his body. It had been more than 6 hours. He was tired of waiting for a long time. Good afternoon, sir. Sunday bowed his head for Chief Jejelaye. Good afternoon, Sunday. It has been a busy day for me. You have seen how people have been coming and going. Chief Jejelaye spoke quietly. You have seen how people have been coming and going. Chief Jejelaye spoke quietly. He delved into a paper he brought out from a file. Sunday was busy staring around the cozy office again. He had been there a few times. It was either he went to Chief Jejelaye's house in GRA or met him in his motel at Chris Road. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten any food today. Chief rubbed his stomach. Can I call the messenger to get you something to eat? Sunday asked. No, thank you. I would like to go out and eat, Chief Jejelaye explained. Chief returned the paper into the file, put it back in the drawer, and left Sunday. The canteen owner, known as Madam Peace, ran towards Chief, greeted him warmly, and collected his briefcase. The canteen was distinct and classic. We have bokoto, abodi, fresh fish. You always like. We have bokoto, abodi, and fresh fish. You always like. Madam Peace beamed. If you have that mutim with spices, bring it also and a bottle of wine. Chief Jejelaye added delightfully. I will be with you shortly. The madam hurried away, then appeared with the order. Thank you, Chief Jejelaye told her. I should be the person expressing thanks. Anytime you come, happiness dwells within me. She smiled and bubbled with joy. Madam Peace glowed. Sunday kept looking at her dressing. She was so different from other local restaurant owners. She was dressed in English clothes, and her pairs of shoes were high. She spoke English fluently. He was so surprised. It was the first time he will be seeing something of such. You are amazed at her appearance. Chief caught his attention. Sunday smiled as a reply. The woman you are seeing has a master's degree. I like to associate with educated people, Chief bragged. Chief Jejelaye devoured the meat little by little. It took only 2 morsels of pounded yam, then pushed it away and began devouring the remaining fish. Sunday watched him in silence. He had insisted Sunday order for whatever he liked, but Sunday had refused. His excuse was that Cynthia would make supper. You must take some pepper soup, Chief insisted. Okay, Sunday agreed. Chief called one of the boys, brought him the pepper soup and a bottle of wine. You young men, Chief Jejelaye spoke with food in his mouth. Jejelaye spoke with food in his mouth. If you eat out, what will your wife do? Chief asked jokingly. Nothing. It is just that I have informed Cynthia what she should prepare for me for supper. I asked Clara to do that. She finished the food. Water it down with wine. Sunday scooped some pepper soup with a spoon and poured down into his throat. Whenever I have disagreement with Clara, I come here or go to other good joints in town. He drank some wine. Clara was the latest wife of Chief Jejelaye. Chief had had 2 wives before Clara, but they were not together again. Clara was the architect who designed Chief houses in the major cities. Chief Jejelaye was fascinated by her beauty and brain and took her as wife. I want you to start work with me as soon as possible. You have seen that I am as busy as a bill. Chief Jejelaye spoke gently. Sunday beamed at his luck. They were to go. Madam Peace appeared at the table. Hope you're enjoying the food, she asked, smiling. Yes, you know I always do. I like your services. Chief giggled. He gave Madam Peace some foreign notes. Madam Peace genuflected them, accompanying them to the car. Thank you, Chief. Please visit us soon. She chimed. Give this to your servant. Chief placed the money on Madam Peace's hand. Sunday pondered on the events of the day. Throughout the night, Sunday pondered on the events of the day. Chief paid more than he had, paid in foreign currency. He fed a family and gave them money that was hardly enough for a fare. Some people in politics strolled into his office and smiled out with bags of money, calling him godfather. Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma, for that session.
Yes, sir.
This is a very insightful part. I will look at it from one perspective. A little bit of psychological novels will test the reader to the core. Everything is not on the surface.
Yes.
You presented Sunday as the house of Chief J.J. Laye, observing Osaro. Now, that is a bit unique. Okay, Osaro is meant to be a bodyguard to somebody who is possibly a millionaire, as we call them. But it's not representing, it's not looking the parts. The clothing, so it is a case of where Yoruba people will say that the person that wants to give you a cloth, you first of all look at the one he's wearing. So at that point, you kind of painted the picture of somebody who should have actually seen the redemption. See something like, am I sure that this man will take care of me if his own bodyguard is looking like this? So I'm very happy. I'm very grateful to you, ma, for actually portraying that part. One can read that part and gloss it over and then be like, okay, he went to Chief's house and that was all. But that introspection on the part of Sunday is a lot, is huge. Thank you very much, ma. So please, the floor is open for us to give our response before we round off. We are sorry for taking so much of our time. This is already to 7 over here. And please let us respond nevertheless, because this is a very interesting text. So the floor is open, please. Please let us go comment about the text and not bring extraneous issues to it, so that at least we'll round off on time and then we'll be on our way. In the meantime, Olushade Adediran joined us. So we would like Olushade Adediran to please introduce herself, tell us her name, where she's connecting from, she's joining us from, and then what is her profession. Please, if you don't mind, ma'am. Olushade, please. Okay, if she's not joining us yet, do we have any response to the last part that's been read by our guest author? Yes, anyone? This part, hello, please go ahead.
I'd only want to ask, how do we get copies of this text?
Thank you, ma'am. That is very fundamental. Please, Mrs. Falaye, how do we get a copy? How do we get a copy of this text? How can we get it?
We can always send it across. Some of my books, even as far as the northern part, we just send to schools and those that request.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we just contact you directly, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you for that. Any other person, please? Do we have any other person? Let us see. This part is packed. Chief went to the restaurant, and rather than the author telling us that Chief actually asked for assorted meats, as we call them, she actually used some particular parlance. She mentioned Bokoto. And now that is quite situational. That is not just situational. That is actually something that someone of this generation reading will have to ask question. You know, and even a foreigner actually, I'm so happy you didn't even say chief asked for meat, assorted meat, and then maybe you now say something like okay, that is how it is in Yoruba land. You actually reflected the fact that this setting reflects not just Yoruba land but their culture in part. You know, when we make small money in Yoruba land, when we make small money, we want to go to restaurants and then actually flex our muscles. Give me amala, give me this, and give me that. So
And we
that's
sleep the food and eat and consume a lot of meat.
yes,
Rich
ma.
men.
And then you introduce the idea of boli, and I would have wished to. I don't have any say, but I would have wished you actually call it boli and ekpa, so that. Oh, but that is okay, ma. That is okay, ma. Please,
Those
if they
past origin, they won't get lost. So we just
all right, ma. All right,
thank
ma.
you.
Thank you very much, ma. If there is no other response, do you have anything to tell us, ma, Mrs. Falaye, on this platform?
Yes. I think there's somebody.
Okay, please
Hello.
quickly.
I
Hello.
just say something. I just please grab the mic.
No, it's Flora. It's Flora that
Oh,
is talking.
sorry. Oh.
I was trying to say something.
Go
so
ahead,
just make a little contribution. That
yes,
I think the book all through is just down to earth. It's like all other contributors have been saying, it's a reality. It's a realism. Yeah, it's just a reflection of our day-to-day life. When I heard the brokoto, 1 pound the jam that is eating and a lot of meat, and he ate small of it and descended on him, it just reminded me of ministry. So I think apart from people getting rich too, maybe with their legit money, especially with the Yoruba tradition, because I was born here too, so that I've seen, they eat a lot of assorted meat. Then that's one. Then people that also see money freely, especially in the ministry, where you be getting tips here and there. If you see what they eat over there, you are like, wow. You will see somebody buying amala of 200 and buying meat of 2,000. That eat. I'm not exaggerating. Those are the ones that I have seen. And there's one element there that I saw, respect for us women, respect for the wife, respect for the labor she must have put into cooking the food at home, homemade food. And for Sonny to said no, he is not going to eat a free meal that I think could have even been more assorted than the one he will meet at home. Shows honor for the home. It shows that some men actually respect their wife, and they are not ignorant of the hands of love and the labor that make the food that they will eat at home. That's part of priority of flashy food outside over the homemade food. It's really it's commendable. At least it sent home a point to all men that will read that book, that you have to respect your wife.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very,
Welcome.
very much. Marianne Nwokoye actually joined us. Please, Marianne, I would like you to introduce yourself before we round off. Tell us your name, where you are joining us from, and your profession, if you don't mind, please.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Good
My
evening,
name
ma'am.
is Miriam Nwokoye. I'm a postgraduate student, as well as a programs manager, and I'm joining in from Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. So, Mrs. Falaye, you actually have a final word for us.
Okay, sir. Many years ago, I studied, I read English and literature in my first degree.
Yes, ma'am.
So I studied Ayiko Ama's The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I don't know if you have gone through the book before. Ayiko Ama is trying to give us so many messages from that book. One
Yes,
of
ma'am.
them is no man can single-handedly fight corruption.
Yes.
So I'll take it from there. In as much that, okay, no single person can fight corruption in single-handedly do that. It is very, very important. It is essential that we should not lose our individuality.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is the one that I want you to take away. Okay, I can say, okay, I cannot, I'm not in Abuja, or I cannot fight it alone. I'm not everywhere. But we should not lose our individuality. In this world, in this country, in this community, society, where corruption is the order of the day now, we should not lose our individuality. You can change the world as a person. Let the change begin with you. When those people that surround you, when they know that this person is different, they respect you. Even when they criticize you, it's just a matter of time. They will begin to do what you are doing, begin to emulate what you are doing. So we should not lose our individuality, and we should not follow the multitude to do wrong. But most especially, we should not lose our individuality. We can change the world. It's just a matter of, you may be the only one doing it, but as time goes on, when they see you standing, that moral standards, it's just a matter of time. They will respect you, and they will want to partner with you. They want to emulate you. That is that.
Thank you
So
very, very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We are so grateful to you. We are so
So much.
grateful to
to be here.
Yes. Oh, thank you, ma'am. We are so grateful to everyone on the platform for taking time out to join us, to spend your time, money, and energy. And then we are grateful for the platform created by LRF for us to actually have the opportunity of partaking in something that is becoming a dying culture, not just in Nigeria, but all over the world, and making effort to revive that dying culture and making it a steady thing every month. Thank you so much, Babs, for this kind of opportunity and platform. I will actually hand over to Babs to tell us of what we have next month in the way of our monthly reading adventure.
Wow, it's been a day. Thank you so much, our compare, for weaving it all together. I mean, the way you engaged both audience and then the author is amazing. Thanks for this coordination. And I want to thank the author too for availing us of our time, of our resources, ready for my piece. She practically took that work out of my mouth, because I was like, when you started the second round of readings, this book reminds me of Ayiko Ama's The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born. And then she actually just mentioned that I think because it's like maybe the Nigerian version of that Ghanaian masterpiece. Even though, I mean, from the two, yeah, because I mean, you see the chief, and then there's also that politician there
the
too,
man,
and then the man
Kumsin, Mr. Kumsin,
and then now this Sunday guy in this book, and just yeah. So I was like, wow. I mean, and then she now mentioned, okay, well, this is where the inspiration came from, even though that
it didn't come from there.
Oh, it didn't come from there, but it's just
I didn't even remember. I read it undergraduate in the university. I didn't even remember.
Similar.
I was looking at.
I mean, I think we read that for our WAEC in 1994. It's one of those books we read for WAEC. So And I was like, wow, this is just like
I
a
actually
replica. So I
sorry,
think
sir.
we should. I mean, everybody should read that book. It's a masterpiece. The beautiful ones are not yet born. Some
Yeah.
of us now added, I mean, like another line that the ugly ones refuse to die. You know, students now being students. So, and I want to say thank you for I mean, taking time to come and read to us from your work. We really, really enjoyed every minute of it, and we are grateful. We hope that sometime maybe next year you also come again to come and read from one of your other
Yeah.
works to us, as we also find space to schedule you, because we are fully booked for several months now. But I believe maybe if you work with Mary, we'll be able to see, okay, when next we can accommodate you. I want to say thank you to everyone who has been part of this reading session today. It's always nice having you guys around. For those that join us for the first time, thanks for joining in. For those who have been pretty steady, our faithfuls, the Agias, the Flora, the Roslyn, I want to say thank you for always being a Fumlayo. Thank you for always being there. Thanks to Mary for coordinating the whole thing to happen. And I want to say thank you on behalf of LRF and the Board of Trustees. Thanks again. We look forward to seeing you again next month, first Sunday in the month of September, where we'll be having the next reading. Sorry, I'm still trying to boot into August. So we look forward to having you guys around when we'll be meeting our next author for the month. And I want to say have a fantastic month of August and a blessed week ahead. From here,
Thank you.
oh, please,
sir.
I think Mary is dropping a message. Yeah, please feel free to join our group. Okay, Mary, you can take over so that I can close the meeting. I think
Okay,
she's on.
thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Yeah, the author, and for everyone who was able to attend. I just dropped the link. If you know you're not in our WhatsApp forum, please ensure you join the WhatsApp forum so that you can get first-hand information about the LRF and its doings within the group. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye and have a wonderful